Byron.
Hello, Byron.
Hey, guys. It's wonderful to be in Tampa Bay, our exploding city of entrepreneurial. It's just unreal. Everything's happening so fast. You could sell a house right now and make yourself 50% more than you bought it just 3 to 5 years ago.
Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, it's just really amazing. You know, Tampa's on top of the world. We got the governor here today. They're doing amazing about individual freedom and rights. You know, he's suspending all local COVID-19 orders. I think you had mentioned that earlier. You know,
Yeah.
And you know, Florida may actually be a haven for those that like freedom and individual rights. It may end up being that little place in the world where America says, yeah, some places we have more freedoms than others.
We certainly see a lot of people coming here, and a theme that we hear people saying who are already here is, hey, remember why you came. Don't bring those progressive / socialist / communist ideologies from where you came from to your state in Florida now, because there's a reason you want to come here, right? Because we're open, because we have low taxes, because we have a lot of freedoms, a lot of business opportunity. That's the reason people want to move here. They say, hey, that looks pretty good compared to where I'm living right now. And, hey, Byron, you know a little something about that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's better. It's a better option than the South China Sea right now. So I think I like the Bay Area. You know, it's close to the water. You know, down there in China, they have to defend their little islands they're building because they got to create that next mode of hegemony going on around the world. You know, maybe they could take over Vietnam and the surrounding areas, and they'll put up with it. But not here in Florida. We'll just keep our own, even if it's the divided states of America.
Well, you're exactly right about that. And I tell you, what do you think China is thinking after seeing performances like President Biden's State of the Union address?
I know that since 1999, they've had that great opportunity, along with the Russians, to really work the cyber world. You know, thank goodness Trump decided, you know what, we got to create this Space Force to protect against this cyber world that they realized that was our weak point. So we created a whole division of another military, you know, and it's going to protect us in the long haul. Short term, they'll still try and kick up like the Middle Eastern nations and old Persia, Iran. They'll try and kick up all this propaganda that, oh yeah, from the inside, this country is just falling apart. Look, they're racist. They're got a Federal Reserve funding themselves into oblivion where the dollar is going to be worthless. Well, you know, the Chinese created the initial 3,000 years ago monetary policies of superinflation and all the things that come from that changing of currency and playing with currency. So they're just seeing it from a distance. They're trying to control it. They can't. You know, they're going to try, but as long as you got a couple of DeSantises in the world, this little 4-year Biden run will just be that. It'll be a little run, and people will wake up and go, oh, yeah, well, this guy just knows how to spend, and that's basically the Democrat way.
Well, I certainly hope that you're right, Byron. I hope you're right. It does seem people are looking for some leaders, and if we just have a leader or two who will step out and say, no, we're not going to do it that way in Florida, we're going to do it differently, like Governor DeSantis, then that inspires other people also to stand up for themselves. I think a little of what you were referring to is, you know, there was an article that came out recently in the Australian news, and of course Australia being right over near the South China Sea and near China, you know, has a lot of issues with China and China engaging in sort of asymmetrical warfare. And Beijing right now has a program that they're implementing, that they're working right now, called the Three Warfares, where it's like a Cold War almost. It's not a hot conflict where they're sending missiles and bombs at us, but they are fighting a war with us, and they're basing the war on public opinion, morale, and legal processes. And we see that playing out right in front of our faces, like you said, with the propaganda push on racism. Go ahead.
Yeah, and meanwhile, they're just trying to act as a usurper. You know, they're coming in like, oh, yeah, we weren't there all along doing the same, if not worse.
Right. Yeah, pointing the fingers at us. Meanwhile, they're loading people into essentially concentration camps, doing organ harvesting, doing all kinds of other things. Who even knows? Because in China, people just disappear and you never hear from them again. It's like during Mao's reign. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the individual rights and privileges that we have in this country can easily go away by, larger parties other than our own, nation's individuals having an abundance of money with this leftist agenda, as opposed to a conservative, long-term, fiscally responsible, proactive in self-defense. All those things that they try to do is just to undermine the freedoms and individuals' rights. That's all it is. At the end of the day, they know that they'll hook some of those leftists into pushing that agenda out there, and then it'll work its way into the cities. And we've dealt with this many times before in our short little history. We've had outsiders that just tried to infiltrate us. Not to this degree because of the endless threats every single day to our banks and our other institutions and infrastructure. But it's still something that we'll be able to manage thanks to that Space Force being around.
Well, you're exactly right, and we saw some of that in the State of the Union. We see it's the same playbook every time. So, Byron, thank you so much for calling, sharing some of your thoughts with us. I want to jump back into the State of the Union. Give us a call anytime, man. We love to have you on there. We love to hear from you.
Thanks, Byron.
Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.